Hi everyone, this is Rachel Kleinman from rwcrafts.com. I have an art journal page to share today. It's been a long time. I know that because YouTube gave me a warning that it has been too long since my last video. So anyways, before we get started on the art journal, I am going to prep this page. I feel like I should keep it. You're on record right now. Do you want to see? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. That was my husband. It's been a week. It's been a long week. So here I am painting with distress watercolor crayons, or watercolor pencils, I should say, in the Okay, everyone, I have to say I took a minute to collect my thoughts to get everything back in order. So here we go. The distress watercolor pencils you saw me use previously were in the colors of Wild Honey, Tumbled Glass, Seedless Preserves, and Vintage Photo. And now you see me using similar colors over a textbook page. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking the dried portion of my watercolor paper and using Tim Holtz and Sizzix dies called, what are they called? Abstract Elements, I believe. Yes. So it took me a while to get my hands on these dies. I had to be put on a wait list. Once I got them, instantly in love. So it's worth the wait if you also need to be put on a wait list. So now we're moving on to the actual art journal portion. So you can see that it's already been gessoed, and I'm using modeling paste with the Tim Holtz stencil in 070. And once that completely dried, and I mean completely, it's been raining here in California, I want to say like 60 days straight, so I had to use all my heat guns over this. But once that modeling paste was completely dry, I am now watercoloring with Distress inks in Seedless Preserves and Dusty Concord and also tea dye. I have to tell you, this tea dye ink pad I purchased at least 10 years ago, if not 15 years ago, and I've never once had to re-ink it. It is still nice and juicy. And then I ordered this Salvage Patina, a color that I absolutely adore, but I feel like it's already dried within the year. So maybe that's just me. Maybe I purchased from a poor manufacturer. I don't know, maybe I need to re-ink it, but Salvage Patina is a gorgeous color, but my ink pad is definitely not juicy. But anyways, I'm gonna stick with it, and those are the colors I used for the background. You can see I've torn apart this text page, making myself just put it down on glue so I don't overthink what arrangement these text papers are going to be on. The glue that I'm using for those pieces is Liquitex gloss gel, so that will definitely hold down on my art journal. And then just to help blend the text into the background of the art journal, I'm adding some watercolor of the Dusty Concord back on top. This is a favorite stencil of mine. If it's not still available, I apologize. I was literally just grabbing things out of my closet. So that's from the Crafters Workshop, and the number is 548. So, and I went over that stencil with Distress ink in Black Soot. So now I'm creating some tags. I've already gessoed them, and they've been stamped with that Hero Arts black ink. The stamps that I'm using are from Unity Stamp Co. They're called She Art Doodles and Cooped Up Notes. And you can see that I'm going over them with the same colors of the Distress watercolor pencils that I used previously. I did make sure that that black ink was completely dry, especially over the gesso, before I put any watercolor over it. And now I'm also whitewashing these tags I realized that when I put the collage pieces that I created earlier on top, they weren't popping. So by whitewashing them, they're going to pop a little bit more. So that's just, I took literally some white acrylic paint on a paper towel and just wiped it down on the tag. And once that dried, I took my tool. You've seen me do this before. I take my dollar store tool and I heat it up with my heat gun safely and carefully so that it kind of melds together and gets a little more concentrated. And then I stapled that on along with my collage fodder that I had made earlier with my mini stapler. So now I'm using some ideology pieces. This is called Field Notes. The ideology collections tend to be very seasonal, but if you miss out on this season's whatever next spring is or next summer is, I'm sure they have something similar coming out. So don't feel like you've missed it and you can't ever get it again because it will come back. Also, most art journal pages have a focal point or a quote or a word or phrase, something that is the main point of your art journal. I decided to make my main focus the number 19. So I am filming this on March 19th, which happens to be my mother's 70th birthday. So I'm very happy to celebrate in honor of my mom. Also, it is my half birthday. So my birthday lands on September 19th. So it's always been something very special that me and mom share this number together. So the number 19 will be the focal point of my art journal page. So you can see I die cut the number 19. That is a Concord and Ninth set that I used, and I will link that, of course, in the description. And I added that to the tag and then put my very layered tag on top of that. And that will complete my art journal page. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sticking with me on this very chaotic voiceover video. But I'm happy to have you, and I'm sorry it has been so long. YouTube had to give me the warning to make something new. So I appreciate you. Thank you. As always, more info at rwcrafts.com or in the description below. Bye.